Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, Larry Ellison, Michael Dell, Jack Dorsey, Oprah, Steven Spielberg, Steve Jobs. What do they all have in common? They dropped out of college to pursue their business dreams.
And a recent Wall Street Journal study found 42% of people that went to college did not think it was worth the price.
So Tyler, our topic today is college versus starting a business. Let's start with our experiences. Tell me a little bit about yours.
My experience was my family didn't have a lot of money. Honestly, dude, like my family did not have a lot of money. It was they wanted me to go to college. I had okay grades. I had no scholarship offers. So for me, I went to a community college and me and my buddies are like, let's go to community college. Let's just see what that's about, right? So I went there for 2 years. It was actually a great experience. Had a lot of fun. Got my base, credits or whatever. Then I went on to University of Iowa, got a 4-year degree. So it worked out for me. But once again, I think I ended with $30,000 in debt, maybe, you know, and it was a great experience. Looking back, I don't know if I would change a lot, but it was stressful.
Oh, for sure. And I know all about debt coming out of college. I was financially irresponsible going into college and also decided that I wanted to pursue public school. And I went to University of Nebraska, Omaha. I was lucky enough to be offered a walk-on opportunity to play baseball there. So no scholarship in the beginning, right? That came later. And decided I wanted to pursue journalism. But what I didn't think about was how a journalism career was going to overcome the debt that I was in when I left school. I left school with great experiences, great relationships, and a great amount of debt. I had $80,000 of debt. And my first job out of college was working a retail GNC store.
Incredible. So looking back, I mean, the big conversation here is like, are you going to send your kids to college, right? You have 4 boys.
Yep.
So what is your current methodology? Like, what do you feel about colleges right now?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, if you would have asked me years ago, I'd have said, absolutely, they're all going. And I still hope they do, which is interesting. I don't know if I care that they absolutely go, but I hope that they go for a couple of reasons. One, I said it already, relationships and experiences, right? Now, at this point in my life, what do I really care about? I care about relationships and experiences. But at this stage of my life, I can afford relationships and experiences. I think the reverse way college works on relationships and experiences is you pay for it with money that you don't have that you're going to have to pay back later. So I hope my kids also are going to be entrepreneurs. And so college, again, is about relationships and experiences. But one thing I jumped past that I think is really important is I absolutely believe in college for many people that want to pursue degrees that require a degree. I think that goes without saying, right? But we're not talking about those folks. We're talking about the ones that don't want to be doctors, don't want to be lawyers, don't want to be CPAs, don't need a specific degree, and are going with the hopes that it's going to increase their chances at having a better career.
Well, I think we're at an inflection point a little bit because it's a generational thing, right? You go through a stage when World War II, the greatest generation, they went through that. They didn't really have college degrees. Then you get into a position where, okay, you got to go to college. You go to college, you get a good job because you don't want to be scooping, concrete on the side of the road or something like that. College is going to get you that really good job. Then you go to that really good job. And now this generation here is like, man, I did this thing for 40 or 50 years. I've got the 401k, but I wasn't fulfilled. And that next generation is like, is there a better way? And I think that's what's happening right now. Like the Gen Zs, the millennials are like, is there a better way right now? And I think that's what's causing a lot of this frustration. And these people are looking for alternatives for their kids.
So the better way is what this video is all about, right?
Yeah.
It is entrepreneurship versus college. For me, I love entrepreneurship. Like you, I hope my kids become entrepreneurs. It's going to be up to them. And I think my kids are lucky because more is caught than taught. They get to see me being an entrepreneur every day. So they just naturally are going to learn it. But the thing I love about people that decide they want to be entrepreneurs early is you can start something. You can create an Etsy store. You could be an Amazon reseller. You can do a lot of things for very inexpensive to go get the experience for 3 or 4 years. And the reality is if it doesn't work out, that's probably not the career or the business that you're going to have for the rest of your life. So if college is specifically for experience to have a better career, I think you can really make an argument that becoming an entrepreneur at 18 or 19, low cost, gain the experience, may be a better position for a kid that wants to be an entrepreneur.
So let's talk about your kids real quick. So if they come to you, I mean, your oldest is what? 13. So they're coming to you in a couple of years and they're like, you know what? I don't think college is for me. Or the opposite. They're like, I think college is for me. How are you going to frame that up for them? How are you going to tell them, make sure, like, what are the things you're going to go through with them, the pros and cons list?
Yeah, good question. So like I said, I hope they do. So I hope my kids come and say, I am going to college, because I think there's an opportunity where there can be some entrepreneurship things that happen there as well. But I'm going to say the pros of college are experience, are relationships, are learning how to work on things that are not necessarily within your control, right? Are understanding how other people decide to grade you for that work, which is ultimately a great measurement stick for, can you go do that out in the real world? So again, I hope they go that direction. However, if they decide they don't want to go to college, I'm going to very much push them into, well, I hope you're pursuing something that's going to be an even greater opportunity than like entrepreneurship. Sure. So what entrepreneurship idea are you going to pursue? How are you going to do it? Where's the money coming from? How are you going to spend your time? What's the desired outcome? I mean, all the things that I would want somebody to think about with starting a business. And then we're going to weigh those pros and cons like we do in many decisions in our life. And we're going to say, what's the best path for you? Yeah. And again, I hope it's college, because I think my kids can leave there with relationships and experiences, and I can teach them to do it in a way that's not going to cripple them with debt.
Yeah. Goals. I think for me, it's going to come down to goals. Like, what is your goal? Is your goal to do this? Is your goal to do that? If your goal is to live this sort of lifestyle, there are so many mentors out there that you could pay maybe $10,000, $20,000, and they can completely transform your life. So if that goal is in alignment with what my child wants, I believe that that's the direction we have to go. But entrepreneurship, like, this is a great example. My nephew just bought a franchise, right? So we went to college 3 years, and he hated every minute of it. Hated every minute. My sister's like, let's just buy a franchise. Like, let's give this a shot. He wanted to be an entrepreneur so bad. So they bought it. He just moved to Salt Lake City to start last week. So I'm super stoked for him. He's so excited. I've not seen excitement with this kid for probably 3 years.
That is the scenario where I absolutely believe entrepreneurship is over college. It's got to be the fire in the kid. It's got to be the maturity level of the kid, right? If a kid is not quite ready to go do that, then fine, go pursue higher education in college. But when I hear that story about your nephew and I hear that he's more excited now than he's ever been, absolutely, I would push them towards entrepreneurship. No doubt about it.
Yep.
All right. So to close it out, Tyler, no middle ground, yes or no. Your boys walk up to you and say, Dad, I need to know what I should do. Are you telling them college, or are you telling them entrepreneurship?
God, this is hard. I'm going to go for entrepreneurship. Honestly, I feel that is the better route. The world's problems are going to be solved by entrepreneurs. And I hope that they go through the struggles that I went through when I started my first business at 21 years old, because I learned so much in those first 10 years. Looking back, if I had to sit in an office for those 10 years, I would never be in this position right now. So I will always advocate for entrepreneurship. I will always go to bat for entrepreneurship.
Oh, this is so hard, because everything you just said, it like gives me goosebumps. I you know how I feel about entrepreneurship. I mean, at Franchise Sidekick, we want to help more people become an entrepreneur than anybody in history, right? I mean, that is what I believe in. That's what you believe in. And so that's why this answer is difficult for me. I would tell my kids to go to college. I absolutely hope they become entrepreneurs. I think it can change their life like it's changed my life, like it's changed your life. But I think they can do it after they get a degree.
Interesting. All right. Well, that's you, man. That's you.